Hello and welcome back to part 2 of our lesson on opening a new case in Justware. I'm Peter Zook, I'm the project manager for the Office of the Defender General, and I'll be your guide today. This video will pick up from where we left off in Session 6, Part 1, with our fictitious client Ed Hubble. As you'll recall in the prior video, we located Ed's name record, created a new case, and entered the agencies that will be involved with this case into Justware. As so often happens, we have new information to add. We just received the incident number from the Burlington Police Department, so we want to add that. To do that, we just go to the Agency People Snap-in, add the incident number, and click on Save. The next step in completing the Agency People tab is to add the docket number in the court. We'll go to our Court Snap-in tab and click on the green plus sign and drop down the appropriate court. In this case, it's Chittenden Superior Court. Once the court is selected, we can enter in our docket numbers in the appropriate field. The active box is pre-checked. You may check the lead box if there are other docket numbers to enter, and this one is primary. In our case, we have 2 docket numbers. We'll add the second one using the green plus sign and filling in the court and the additional number. Let's save our work by hitting Ctrl+S for save or clicking on the Save Case button on the vertical bar. We're done with our docket number entry. Now on to entering the people involved with our case. To do that, let's go to the Snap-in tab toward the bottom of the page marked People. I'll move the vertical bar to the left to give us a little bit more room to work. Before we begin to add people associated with our case, let's take a look at this Snap-in. Notice that with this Snap-in, some of the fields are marked with an asterisk, some are not. If the field is marked with an asterisk, you must enter information under that field. In our case, the role and the name fields are required. The agency field is not. Also notice that the client, Edwin Hubble, has been pre-populated for us, together with his role as the client. To begin entering this Snap-in, we'll use our green plus sign to start a new row, and we'll click on the agency field. The drop-downs that appear in this row of fields are determined by the agency types and agencies that you placed in the Snap-in above. Pick the agency and add the individuals. Click on Chittenden County State's Attorney under the agency field. Under the role field, click on Prosecuting Attorney. Moving over to the name field, you'll see 2 buttons that indicate a search utility together with a drop-down. Select the drop-down first to find the name of the attorney. A word about drop-downs. The drop-down list or pick lists in Justware are very handy and very adaptable. As you become aware of changes that need to be made in the drop-downs, send in a help ticket to the team and we can take a look at it. This drop-down has been pre-populated with the names of attorneys in the State's Attorney Office. For the sake of our exercise today, we'll select T.J. Donovan. As we did for the Agency tab, click on the lead box if appropriate. Both the active box and active date fields will default, letting you know that Attorney Donovan is active on the case as of the active date. Don't fill in the inactive date field unless TJ leaves the case. Place any notes you wish in the notes field that lies to the right of the inactive date field. Okay, you've entered your first name on the case. Follow along as I enter the public defender, Sally Adams, using the same techniques. Let's try another, and we'll put some spin on this one. We'll say the police officer involved was hired last week, and his name isn't in the drop-down. What do we do? It's easy, and for those of you that watched the video on creating a name record, you've probably already figured it out. Enter the name in the field and click on the Search button. If you don't find the name of the officer in Justware Name Records, create a name record for him, and involve him in your case. Follow along. Click on the green plus sign, drop down Burlington Police Department, go to the next field and drop down Law Enforcement Officer. The name of the law enforcement officer in our case is Cal Cop, but he doesn't appear in the drop-down under the name field. Given that, I'll enter his name into the field and click on the magnifying glass to start a search. Cal is in our database and his name record appears. We'll click on it. JustWare will take us back to the case, and we'll click on Save to involve his name as part of the case with Ed Hubble. Complete the next few fields and the law enforcement officer is complete. You could add another officer to this case by repeating the same technique. For a final entry, we're going to enter someone involved with the case, but for whom there is no agency established. In this case, we skip the agency field altogether and click in the role field. Our drop-down reveals many roles that involved parties may have in our case. Some of these include counselors, doctors, and relatives. In our case, we need to enter defense witness. Click on Witness Defense in the drop-down and tab over to the name field. The name of our witness is Walter Witness. Enter his name and click on the search icon to see if it's already in JustWare. Failing to find a Walter Witness, we will create a new name record. Now click on the Involve button, which will associate the witness to our case. Save the case. That's it. You've completed the Agency People tab. You're well on your way to adding new cases to the system. We'll see you next time.